Okay, so in this video I'm going to be working through the Semester 1 Algebra 1 final review. The first problem wants me to solve the equation. There are two ways I can do this. I'm going to show you both. The first one is I can distribute that -3, which is going to give me positive 6x. And then -3 times -1 is positive 3. This equals 21. Then I want to go ahead and subtract 3 on both sides. I get 6x equals 18. I want to isolate my variable. So I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 6. And I get x equals 3. The other way I could have done this, I'm going to start off by rewriting my problem, is I could start off by dividing out that -3 at the beginning. That's going to give me -2x minus 1, because those -3's cancel out, and 21 divided by -3 is -7. Then I want to add 1 to both sides, so I have -2x equals -6. Again, I can divide by -2. And this gets me x equals 3 again. So both ways work. On number 2, I'm actually going to go ahead and use the second way because I want to get rid of the fraction. So remember, to get rid of fractions, I want to multiply by the reciprocal. I'm going to multiply both sides by 5 over 4. So on the left side, this is going to give me h minus 20. On the right, -10 times 5 is -50 divided by 4. Or I can use the calculator. Let me go grab mine. So, I'm going to do, -10 times 5 divided by 4, which gives me -12.5. And then I want to go ahead and add 20 to both sides. And I get h equals 7.5. On number 3, I want to go ahead and get all of my x's on the same side. So I'm going to start off by subtracting 4x because I like working with positive x's. This is going to give me 3x minus 5 equals 10. Then I want to add 5 to both sides. I get 3x equals 15. I want to isolate my variable, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And then I get x equals 5. On number 4, I want to solve this equation for w. That means get w alone. So I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by L and H to get rid of them from the side with the W. It gets me W equals V over L times H. That's it. I'm just rearranging it to get the letter alone. Number 5 wants me to solve in graph, so I'm going to add 12 to both sides. I have 2b is greater than 26. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And I have b is greater than 13. So I'm going to put some numbers on my number line. I want to include 13. This doesn't have a line underneath, so it's just an open circle. I don't fill it in. And then the arrowhead is pointing towards the right, so then I draw my arrow to the right. These two should match up. Number 6 wants me to solve this inequality, so I'm going to split it into 2. I'm going to have 5 is less than x plus 3. And I'm going to have x plus 3 is less than or equal to 18. And I'm going to solve these individually. The first one I want to subtract 3. I have 2 is less than x. I always want my letter on the left side. So I have x is greater than 2. Remember, the open part is towards the x. Over here, I want to subtract 3 on both sides. I have x is less than or equal to 15. So I want to go ahead and draw this on the number line. So I'm going to have 2 and 15. 2 gets an open circle, and it goes towards the right side. Let's wait a second for my camera to catch up. And then 15 gets a closed circle because of the line underneath, and it goes towards the left. So these two are going to connect in the middle. The way I write my final answer, I should have my x in the middle. So I'm going to have 2 is less than x is less than or equal to 15. Number 7 wants me to solve this inequality. I'm going to divide both sides by -10 to get my x alone. I'm going to have x, but my inequality symbol is going to flip directions. And then 7 divided by -10 is -7. So I'm going to get a solid circle because of the line underneath, and then it's going to go to the left because my arrowhead is pointing towards the left. Number 8 says a jumpy house vendor service charges an hourly fee plus a fixed starting price. The cost C in dollars to have a jumpy house for our party for the number of hours is described by the function C equals 12h plus 75. Find and interpret the slope and y-intercept. So, the slope is 12. That means they charge $12 an hour. Because that's the one that can keep changing, and they $75 for the fixed price. And that's just to come out and set it up. Number 9 wants me to write an equation in slope-intercept form to describe the relationship between the values of x and y shown in the table. This is on my next page, so I'm going to flip the page over. This one wants me to write an equation in slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. So the first thing I want to do here is I want to find my slope. So my change in x is adding 1. My change in y is subtracting 5. My slope is change in y over my change in x. So I'm going to have negative 5 over 1, which is just negative 5 for my slope. Notice I have a value at 0. This 0,9 is my y-intercept. So that is my b value. I'm going to have y equals negative 5x. So negative 5 came from my m. And then my slope is negative 9. Number 10 wants me to find the slope of the line that passes through a pair of points. Then write the equation of the line in point-slope form. Point slope is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. It gives me these 2 points. I need to use my slope formula to find my points. So that is going to be y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I'm just going to label my points x1, y1, x2, y2. Remember, it always goes in alphabetical order, and then my first set of points is my 1s, my second set of points is my 2s. So to find my slope, I'm going to do 23 minus negative 12 over negative 2 minus 5. 23 minus 12 is the same thing as adding 23 to 12, which is 35. And negative 2 minus 5 is negative 7. So I'm going to do 35 divided by negative 7. Gets me negative 5. So then I just want to plug back in. I already have my x1, y1 labeled, and now I have my m. So I have y minus, my y1 is negative 12. My m is negative 5. X minus my x1 is negative 2. I just want to go ahead and get rid of my double negatives. So I'm going to have y plus 12 equals negative 5, parentheses x plus 2. Okay, number 11 wants me to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. It is crossing at 3, so my b equals 3. And then I want to find my slope. It's going up 1 over 2. So my m is 1/2. I'm going to have y equals 1/2 x plus my y-intercept, which is 3. Number 12 wants me to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form that is parallel to the given line and passes through the given point. Parallel means same slope. So I'm going to use 1/4 as my slope. And this is going to be my point x1, y1. I can plug into the point slope formula, which is y minus negative 3 equals 1/4. X minus 8. And then I can solve this to put it back into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to have the double negatives turn into plus. And then I can distribute my 1/4. So I have 1/4 x. 1/4 times negative 8 is the same thing as dividing by 4. which is going to give me negative 2. If I can't remember, I can always type this in my calculator. 1 divided by 4 is the same thing as 1/4 times 8 over negative 8. Gets us negative 2. Then I just want to go ahead and subtract 3 on both sides. I get y equals 1/4 x minus 5. Number 13 wants me to decide if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. I want to start off by writing in y equals mx plus b form. So on this first one, I want to subtract 3x. That gets me negative 4y equals negative 3x plus 4. Then I want to divide everything by negative 4. I get y equals 3/4 x minus 1. And then I want to do the same thing for my second equation over here. I want to go ahead and solve for y. So I'm going to start off by subtracting 8x. I have 6y equals negative 8x plus 7. I want to isolate my y, so I'm going to divide everything by 6. This gets me y equals, I need to know what negative 8 divided by 6 is. That's not a nice number, so I can do negative 8 divided by 6 on my calculator. It will give me a decimal. I can press math, and then my first choice turns into a fraction. I press enter twice, and it gives me my fraction, which is negative 4. Negative 4/3. So I can look at these. These are not the same. What I want to do is I want to take these and multiply them together. So I'm going to do 3/4 times negative 4/3. If multiplying these two together gives me negative 1, they are perpendicular. So I have 3/4 times negative 4/3, which gives me negative 1. These are perpendicular. If it had given me any other number, they would not be perpendicular. Number 14 wants me to solve a system. They're both in the form y equals, so I'm going to take this and use substitution. So I'm going to have 4x minus 10 equals negative 3x plus 4. I want to add 3x to both sides, which gets me 7x minus 10 equals 4. Add 10 to both sides. I get 7x equals 14. I want to go ahead and divide both sides by 7. I get x equals 2. Then I want to plug back in. I can pick which equation I want to plug into. I'm going to pick the bottom one since I don't want to multiply by a negative. So I have y equals 4, and then instead of x, I'm going to plug in 2, minus 10. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 10 is negative 2. And then remember, with systems of equations, I always write my answers in the form x comma y. So my answer here is going to be 2 comma negative 2. Same thing on number 15. I have a y solved all alone, so I'm going to plug into here. I have negative 2x minus 3 times negative 6x minus 11 equals negative 7. I'm going to go ahead and distribute that negative 3. So negative 3 times negative 6 is 18. Negative 3 times negative 11 is positive 33. I want to combine my terms. Since these are on the same side of the equation, I do exactly what their signs say. So I have negative 2x plus 18x, which is going to give me 16x. Then I want to go ahead and subtract 33 on both sides. I have 16x equals negative 40. And I want to divide that by 16, which gives me negative 2.5. I want to take my x value and plug it in. It makes more sense to plug it into my top equation since that's already solved for y. So I have y equals negative 6 times negative 2.5 minus 11. So then I want to type this into my calculator. Negative 6 times negative 2.5 gets me positive 15. So I have y equals 15 minus 11, which is 4. So my answer here is 2.5 comma 4. I believe on your final you'll have whole numbers for your answers. Moving on to my last page. This one wants me to solve my system. It's already set up where both of them are in standard form, and my x's have the same coefficient, opposite sign. So I'm going to use elimination. I'm going to add down. My 4x's cancel out. Negative 2y plus 8y is 6y. Negative 12 plus negative 24 is negative 36. I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 6. I get y equals negative 6. Then I want to go ahead and plug into either equation. I'm going to pick the bottom one because I like positives better than negatives. So I have 4x plus 8 times negative 6 equals negative 24. 8 times negative 6 is negative 48. I'm going to add 48 to both sides. I have 4x equals 24. Divide both sides by 4, and I get x equals 6. So my final answer here is 6 comma negative 6. Same idea on number 17. I'm going to use elimination. I'm going to multiply a negative 1 throughout my first equation. So that's going to give me negative 8x minus y equals positive 16. Then I'm going to add down. Negative 3 minus 8 is negative 11x. My y's cancel out. My 30 plus 16 is going to give me 46. I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by negative 11. I think I'm going to leave this one as a fraction, but let me double check. 46 divided by 11. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one as a fraction. So I get 46 over negative 11 for my x. Then I want to go ahead and plug this in to one of my equations. I am going to pick, I'll just pick my top one since that's positive. So I have 8 times 46 over 11 plus y equals negative 16. 8 times 46 divided by 11 is it negative? It's negative 46 over 11. So I'm going to turn this back into a fraction. Negative 368 over 11 plus y equals negative 16. Then I want to add the 368 over 11 to both sides. I always do opposite my sign. So, oops. Negative 16 plus 368 divided by 11. Turn this back into a fraction. I get 192 over 11. So my answer here is going to be negative 46 over 11, comma 192 over 11. Like I said, on the final, should be nice whole numbers, or if there are fractions, there'll be something that ends like 2.5. Number 18. I want to solve this one. It's almost set up like I can cancel out. I'm going to multiply my top equation by a negative 2. That's going to give me negative 4x minus 2y equals negative 10. Then I want to go ahead and add down. The x's cancel, the y's cancel. That gives me 0 on the left side. 10 minus 10 gives me 0. 0 does equal 0. This is true. My answer here is infinitely many solutions. If I had gotten something like 0 equals 7, I would have written, that wouldn't be true, and I would have written no solutions, because it's not true. Okay, number 19 says 2 tailors, Mandy and Ellen, sit down to do some embroidery. Mandy can embroider 4 shirts per hour, and Ellen can get through 6 shirts per hour. In addition, the tailors had previously finished some shirts. Mandy had already completed 20, and Ellen had completed 10. Mandy and Ellen decided to take a break when they had finished the same total number of shirts. How many shirts in total will each tailor have finished? So, I'm going to set up 2 equations. I'm going to have Mandy, and I'm going to have Ellen. So, I have Mandy works at 4 shirts per hour, so 4x, and Mandy already made 20. Ellen can make 6 shirts an hour, and she's starting at 10. So on this one, I'm going to use substitution to solve. I'm going to plug this in for y. I'm going to have 6x plus 10 equals 4x plus 20. I want to get all my x's on the same side, so I'm going to subtract 4x on both sides. This gets me 2x plus 10 equals 20. Subtract 10 on both sides. 2x equals 2x equals 10. Can't subtract. Then I want to go ahead and divide both sides by 2 to isolate my variable. I get x equals 5. this is X is hours. And Y is shirts. I need to answer the question for shirts. So, I need to plug this back in. I can pick whichever equation I want. I'm going to pick Mandy just because she's on top. So I have 4 times 5 plus 20. 4 times 5 is 20, so I have 20 plus 20 equals 40 shirts each.